Coming up on City Spotlight, we're talking for the first time in Season 8 on Paris. In this episode, we'll talk education in Paris. We'll sit down for the first time with Dr. Jeremy Larson, Superintendent of Paris Union School District 95. Jeremy will give us an overview of the different facilities in the school district. Jeremy will also discuss what the recently announced School Health Center will do for the school district, and how students will benefit from the after-school program. We're talking education in Paris on this latest on-location episode of City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location for this episode. We are back on location in Paris, our first time here in Paris in Season 8. And we are taping this episode at Memorial Elementary School. We're going to talk all about education with the Paris Union School District number 95. And to help us out, we welcome first time to the program Dr. Jeremy Larson. He's the superintendent with Paris Union School District 95. Jeremy, it's great to have you on for the first time.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the opportunity to sit down and chat with you today.
We've talked education in Paris before, but first time with Jeremy, a superintendent here in Paris, and we look forward to talking about all the schools within your jurisdiction. So before we do that, Jeremy, first time guest, tell us about yourself, please.
Well, I am a native of Illinois from Northern Illinois, and I have been in Paris for the last 10 years, and I've spent the last 6 years as a superintendent of schools, and I really enjoy living and working in the community. I have a daughter that goes to school within our district, and my wife works in the district, and I am really excited about the opportunities that we've taken on in the last few years watching the district grow, and I look forward to telling you a little bit more about it today.
Fantastic. So 10 years is what you said there. Very good. And you have several buildings under your hat. We've done a handful of episodes here on City Spotlight involving Paris High School, but we look forward to learning about all the buildings. So let's go over your buildings. And first of all, you have two elementary schools.
Correct. We have Memorial Elementary School, and we also have Carolyn Wentz Elementary School.
Okay, very good. And you also have Mayo Middle School.
We have Mayo Middle School. Mm-hmm. We have, starting at the youngest, we have the Creative Center for Children, which is our half-day preschool program.
Very good.
Then from there, we have Memorial Elementary School, which is full-day preschool all the way through second grade.
Right.
Then you also have Carolyn Wentz Elementary School, which is third grade through fifth grade.
Very good.
Mayo Middle School is sixth grade through eighth grade. Paris High School is ninth grade through 12th grade. We also have Brightside Academy that just opened up this year.
Wonderful.
That serves special needs students that are working on life skills. That's over at our Eads campus.
Okay.
And then we also have the Paris Alternative Learning Site, which houses our students from 4th grade through 12th grade, and they focus on career coaching and foundational skills. And then we also have an adult education center that serves individuals older than 18, with our most recent graduate of 103 years old.
Remember hearing about that and seeing the story on that. That's wonderful. Let's start with all those new buildings over at the Eads location. That's the newer additions to the schools here in Paris. Yeah.
Well, they're old buildings but new programs.
Okay, new programs.
And so we're very excited to have those. So the newest one is the Brightside Academy.
Right.
So for special education students, we were sending students all the way to Mattoon.
Really?
And they were on the bus for an hour, hour and a half, one way. And these are our most fragile students, medically fragile. And so we're very excited to have the opportunity to provide for them locally so that way they can receive services right here in their own community, have quicker access to their families if a medical emergency comes up. And we were happy to open up that facility as well as hire the staff to meet their needs. And so that's one of our newest programs. The one that gets the most attention is the Paris Alternative Learning Site.
Right.
The Paris Alternative Learning Site is an alternative education approach for students who just need something different.
Right.
Often we hear from our community, and I hear from individuals, when they hear the word alternative education, they think of students that have misbehaved or have gotten into some type of trouble.
Okay.
And that's just not the case.
Right.
So alternative education at the Paris Alternative Learning Site is for students who need a different type of learning environment. So for example, we have some of our most responsible students out there.
Really?
We have students that are 16, 17, 18 years old, living on their own,
Okay.
paying for their own rent, their own car insurance,
Wow.
and they're working 40 plus hours a week, which is exactly what you would hope for a student to be able to do after they graduate.
Right.
The problem is when you have a student who's living on their own because they didn't have that stable home life initially, that those students ended up needing to meet their most basic needs of housing and access to food before education. So if I'm working at a factory from 8 o'clock tonight until 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming in tired to school. I may not make it. I'm not going to have my homework done. Those kids needed a different type of learning environment. And so we give them flexible scheduling and work with them. We provide clothing and assistance for them with food. And we just try to help coach them to make sure that their basic needs are met. And then we also have the adult education program, which works with individuals that are 18 or older who are seeking a high school diploma, not a GED, but a high school diploma. And they are working towards gaining those credits to be able to establish themselves as an individual. And what's really exciting about that is I think people don't realize the number of individuals who are good, respectable members of our community, who that when they were in high school had some type of situation that caused them to not finish their education. So we've dealt with mothers who ended up getting pregnant in high school. Were back when they were in school, and there was a time where they would kick out expectant mothers or move them into a alternative education setting, which wasn't a good setting for expectant mothers, and or we've dealt with individuals who had to drop out of education in their high school years because of illnesses or even to take care of their family. And so it's been very meaningful to watch some wonderful members of our community go back and earn their high school diploma to be able to let their family know how important education is even at an older age.
Must give you great satisfaction, the number of sites, buildings, facilities that you have available to a wide variety of ages.
Yeah.
So you're helping educate not just your standard K through 12, but all kinds of people.
Yes. And so we believe that strong schools build strong communities. That we believe that when students are able to see from role models the importance of education, and when the school is able to serve the whole family, we will find that individuals can be more successful.
Okay, very good. So we've listed all the buildings and gone into depth on some of these other the alternative site, the Creative Center, Bright Side. So your buildings, obviously, Paris High School is relatively new, and we were there for the very beginning of that about 6-7 years ago. Talk about your other buildings. How are they doing physically?
I think all of our buildings are doing great. We have very traditional school facilities, but we have an excellent maintenance staff, and we worked really hard to make sure everything was updated. So as you walk through our schools, it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's very clean. Things have been updated. We regularly check in on our roofs. We make sure that our HVAC systems are good. We paint, when necessary. And so the flooring, we've done a great job of keeping up with our facilities. Our most recent facility improvement that has gained a lot of attention is the Allen Field Athletic Complex. And so we have athletic complex here kind of in the middle of town.
Right.
And it wasn't used very much. And so we spent 2 years completely renovating the facility. We laid down a brand new track, installed 2 basketball courts. We refinished all the tennis courts. We redid the inside of the field house, so we have a brand new fitness center for weightlifting and cardio. We have redone the bathrooms and the concessions, and it's really, we added a baseball field out there, put lights up. It's really just been an unbelievable community outpour of how appreciative they are for updating that, because it's not only used for our students during the school day, but it's also used as a community center for different activities that go on.
I know that with the brand new Paris High School on the very, very north end of town, pretty much all their sports are on the campus there. The location you're talking about, that was utilized for the previous generations of...
That's correct. Okay. It was the Paris High School Athletic Complex. It was always called Allen Field,
right,
but the high school has used it. What happened was when the high school moved to the North Campus,
right,
it just wasn't used as frequently.
Right.
We decided at that time to just kind of leave it as status quo, and the middle schools continued to use it.
Right.
And what we found is that there was a request and need by the community in order to update that facility. Athletics is a major part of our community
Absolutely.
and culture, and people want to get outside and improve their physical and mental health. And so we have updated that and just had a tremendous outpouring from the community and appreciation.
Well, thank you for that information. Great to hear about how, as we talk about with businesses, mayors, economic development directors, some facilities, they're done being used as one thing, and they may just sit there, but you're able to repurpose and fix up, and it's continuing to be used. Very good. All right. Well, obviously, my first time talking with you. We are taping 2 years after COVID-19 started. I'm not going to ask you about what it was like 2 years ago, but in general, how has this school year gone?
Yeah. So this school year has gone great. I think that while I hear about so many school districts that struggled through COVID-19, I think it strengthened our partnership with the community.
Okay.
And so I'm very excited about the opportunities and initiatives that have been taken on during COVID-19. Rather than sitting back and being frustrated, we have looked at ways to support kids. And so we have done that by applying and competing and being successful in winning competitive grants. And so we have, we've done a variety of different grants and been successful, and it has helped us to promote different programs throughout the school. So, for example, we have recently won $250,000 in mental health grants, so we can double, if not triple, the number of mental health professionals that we have within our facilities.
If I can interject there, this is not a health program here on City Spotlight, but we have talked about this during different points of COVID-19 in other communities. Just how important is that to strengthen the mental health capabilities within your school district?
Yeah. Oh, it's so important for us that there is just access to care for students. I don't think people realize the challenges of, if I wanted to call and set up a counseling appointment with a licensed social worker counselor, it could be anywhere from 2 months to 6 months out for me to be able to see someone. And one of the things that I like to remind people is that we are very quick to go to our medical doctors and seek attention, but when it comes to mental health, we usually wait until it's a critical level 4 matter. And so we want to make sure that people can be proactive in their mental health. We are going to be opening up a school health center next year, and have recently been funded for that.
And that's a recent announcement.
That's a recent announcement. We have started touring other facilities throughout the state and planning that out. And Horizon Health has been a great partner with us on that. And a lot of people will ask, what is a school health center and why do you even need one?
Right.
And what I would say is that a school health center is just providing kids access to health care within the school facilities. And so what people don't realize is that a majority of us are responsible and take our kids to the doctor.
Right.
But unfortunately, we are a low-income school district that has a high amount of poverty and a high amount of homeless students. And so I don't think people realize that those individuals struggle to have access to health care. And I think that a lot of times people think that just because you have a medical card that you should have an easy time for health care. Right. And that's just simply not true. So, for example, I have students whose parents are on drugs and will regularly report to DCFS, and DCFS works with them. But the reality is those students' parents aren't responsible enough to take them to the doctor like they're supposed to. And so I, as a superintendent, have taken kindergartners to their very first physical health appointment.
Wow.
When the parent should have done that years ago. So we're talking about a 5-year-old going to the doctor for the very first time since they were born,
that's a startling story.
Yeah, and getting all their vaccinations. And people just don't realize how often that occurs. I have a young lady right now in our Paris Alternative Learning site whose father was never a part of her life, whose mother was living with a boyfriend. The mother left her when she was probably in elementary school in 1st or 2nd grade. And what happened was that girl was raised by her mom's ex-boyfriend. From 2nd grade through high school was raised by him. And she's old enough now to speak out. And that young lady is homeless. So we have a 17-year-old who's going to turn 18 here in the next month or two.
Right.
And what's been reported to DCFS, and we talked to them about how she needs housing, and we had to work with her to find housing. But when you are 17 years old and you are homeless and you are unaccompanied youth, no guardian in your life, how do you access health care? We have so many individuals who don't even know how to apply for their medical card. Or we have so many individuals who are just, young children, and I'm talking even high school age, that are basically just taking care of themselves. Our facility would allow them to be able to have access to that health care. Now, of course, we'll reach out to parents, and we're not going to provide health care without parent consent. But we have so many parents that don't take responsibility for their children. And what we find is that if we don't support them right now and help out, that it is just going to be a generational trauma that repeats itself and multiplies, and things get worse instead of getting better. And so I'm thankful as a school district that we take the lead to break those generational, elements so that our students can experience better and our community can be better.
Well, you are providing something more than just a school book and knowledge. You're obviously with this new school health center coming down the line, a facility.
Yeah.
You're providing more than just a learning experience here.
Yeah.
So,
well, we know that students can't begin to learn until their basic needs are met, and I just think that people don't realize how much students are doing without. And I think it's hard to conceptualize that when you are living in a good home. I think it's more frequent than people realize. We will be hiring a nurse practitioner, and our nurse practitioner will specialize in mental health, so that way our students can get that critical access that they need.
And this school health center, it's obviously very recent. We're taping here. I didn't bring that up at the beginning of the episode. We're taping here on March 7th here in Paris. This new school health center, it's obviously very new. And moving forward, you said you're going to have to get a facility that will kind of be the location for it?
So we are in the planning process of this right now to identify where exactly it would be located, or if it would be mobile, or if it's traveling, and what days of the weeks and the times, and how does all this get set up. And so we think that rather than just planning this ourselves, that's why we are working with other school districts that have them.
Right.
So Pontiac School District in Pontiac, Illinois has one.
Okay.
So we were just up at Pontiac the other day visiting it to see what it looks like.
So you have a model to go after.
We have an entire committee of individuals. We put them on a white school bus, drove up there, and we toured the center. We did the exact same thing for Urbana School District and toured it to see what it looked like. And we've recently met with Carbondale as well. And we're going to continue to meet with other school districts just to find out what are other school districts doing that are innovative, and how does that best look and fit our community and the values of our community.
Well, the great thing about talking to people like Jeremy for the first time, we have plenty to follow up on, and that will definitely be one we will continue to follow up on additional appearances. We have just a few minutes left, but I want to get a few comments from you about the after-school program that you also had a grant.
Yeah, so this is kind of the crown gem or jewel around here right now.
So we saved the best for last.
Yeah, is Beyond the Bell. And so what I believe is that students need to think that school is fun. They need to feel that school is fun. They need to experience it as fun. And unfortunately, I think that with COVID, it has taken away the joy and the memories and the experiences that kids have had. Even as they come back to school, because of the protocols, there was less of an opportunity for hands-on learning, group work, field trips, experiences, the things that make you remember your childhood. And so we have been able to open up Beyond the Bell. Beyond the Bell runs from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Wow.
And Beyond the Bell provides students with after-school transportation, meals, snacks. It provides students with after-school help with their homework. But most importantly, our focus is on kids learning through hands-on activities and having fun. So we like to do really fun science experiments with them, art projects. We even spend one night a week just playing board games with kids, because so many of our kids don't get the opportunity to sit down with an adult and do a board game. And so it's just a really fun experience. But Beyond the Bell is more than just 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. We also run summer camps and camps throughout the year. We just recently had a baseball camp and had over 60 kids show up for the baseball camp. Our coach, Creighton Tarr, did a wonderful job on that, and we're very proud of that. And we have several different other camps coming up, and they involve the fine arts to athletics to leadership, STEM, all just different types of activities for camps that are going to be coming up that we'll be advertising. And we also want to remind everyone that our Beyond the Bell program isn't just about the school, but it's also about our small businesses. Okay. We recently funded the opportunity for kids to just go and join karate, gymnastics, dance, the after-school rec club at our local recreational facility. Correct. And so we poured out a good amount of funding, over $22,000 into our community, just for kids to be able to go and join these different types of activities. And so we're proud that we're able to compete for dollars at our state and federal level to help fund our local businesses and bring activities to our kids.
We have learned quite a bit here. It's been a very educational conversation here with Dr. Jeremy Larson, Superintendent with Paris Union School District 95. Jeremy, thank you for giving us an overview of the school district and all the things that are going on now and moving forward. So we look forward to many more times with you, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that'll do it for this latest City Spotlight episode on Paris. Before we close, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Paris.
Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight.
You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central and Southeastern Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.